This is Kyle, and I have another healthy fun fact for you. What am I doing here? Well, I'm trying to represent what your joints do when they start cramming into each other. I call that joint and back pain. What is joint and back pain typically? It's when your joint starts to impinge upon a nerve and pinch it. It can be quite painful. People get this in their back and their knees commonly, hips. I know. I've experienced it in my knees, my hip, all throughout my back, my neck, caused me migraine headaches, my shoulders, and all this kind of stuff. Well, what was going on? Well, generally for most people, it's when your tissue around your joint starts getting so weak that the joint starts to come together and pinch that nerve. And so we do all these crazy things to mitigate it. I get it. Pain can lead to death, in my opinion, because you start abbreviating the life that you want to live to protect yourself from pain, right? So what can you do about it? Well, we've all heard about so many things. There's decompression therapy, chiropractic care. All these things are fantastic at mitigating the pain. But for me, when I did these types of things, the pain would always come back. Why? Because the surrounding tissue around my joints had become weak, and it gets weaker and weaker as we protect ourselves more and more from the pain. So what do? Is you have to strengthen the material around the joint capsule, that part of the joint that houses your cartilage right there. And when that tissue becomes strong, the joint actually rests apart like that. And when it does, it alleviates the pain because the nerve is no longer impinged. I was shocked by OsteoStrong and the effects that it had on me and my own joint and back pain. I knew that it was going to do something for increasing my bone strength. I knew after listening to Dr. Jaquish that it was going to help with my physical strength, but I didn't believe that it was going to help with my joint and back pain. I've been plagued with it for decades. After about 5 sessions, my joint and back pain went away. Went away completely. This was a guy right here who was taking like 10 to 20 Advil, ibuprofen every week just so that I could function in the world. I was getting migraine headaches like every other week. And that was just the life that I thought I was going to have to live. I remember when I would take plane rides across the country that I would have to sit on an aisle seat or business class because if I didn't, I would get claustrophobic and I would end up with a headache. And so it was so stressful for me if I had a window seat and 2 people to my right. It was a nightmare. I'll never forget the first time I took a plane ride from New York to LA. It was a long plane ride, and the plane was coming in for the landing, and the flight attendant comes on and says, "It's time to move your seat backs," and they're full and upright position. I went to go do it, and I had forgotten to recline my seat. I didn't get up once the entire flight, and for the first time in decades, I was able to travel without my back hurting. You could do something about your back pain. It's about strengthening the tissue around the joint, and OsteoStrong can help you with that. So this has been Kyle, still is Kyle, and this has been my fun fact.